All right, today we're going to get our hands dirty. We're going to take this, just a simple raw bar of aluminum, and turn it into a perfectly finished part. I know, it sounds pretty basic, right? But as you're about to see, the difference between a rough job and a professional one, it is all in the details.
So what does it really take to get from here to there? What are the key steps, the traps that are so easy to fall into? And of course, the pro techniques that make all the difference. Well, let's dive right in and find out.
Okay, so everything, and I mean everything, starts right here with the cut. This is the foundation for the whole part. If you mess this up, honestly, nothing else you do is going to matter. Precision is absolutely everything. So here's something you might not expect. The cut itself, that's kind of the last thing you should be worrying about. The real work, the important work, is all in the setup. First, you've got to measure with total precision. We're talking down to the millimeter here. Then you have to clamp that material down so tight that there's absolutely zero movement, zero vibration. And this one's crucial, cooling fluid. Seriously, it's not optional. It's going to save your saw blade and protect the aluminum itself. And this brings you to a pretty big choice. Are you going to go manual or automatic? Look, with a handsaw, you've got incredible control and precision. You get less noise, less vibration. But it's a lot of work. An automatic saw, on the other hand, is all about speed, but you're trading that speed for a whole lot more noise and vibration you have to deal with. There's really no single right answer here. It all comes down to what the job demands. Okay, so the piece is cut, the length is absolutely perfect, so we're done, right? Time to pack up? Well, not so fast, because the act of cutting has just created a brand new problem, a problem we now have to solve. And that problem has a name. The burr. You see, every single time you cut metal, you leave behind this sharp, nasty little edge. It's an unavoidable part of making a fresh cut. So what is a burr exactly? Just think of it like this. It's that thin, ragged sliver of metal that gets pushed out and just kind of clings to the edge after you've sawed through something. It's rough, it's super sharp, and honestly, it's the dead giveaway of an unfinished job. And this is why it matters so much. A burr isn't just ugly. Oh no. It'll snag on other parts, it can totally ruin a perfect fit, and this is the big one, it's razor sharp. I mean it. Handling a piece with a fresh burr is a serious safety hazard. This is one of those things you absolutely cannot ignore. Which of course leads us to the final, and I'd say most crucial step, the art of deburring. This is the process that's going to transform our part from just being cut to being truly finished. Now, this process is pretty methodical, almost like a ritual. First up, you start with a file to knock down that big primary burr. Just a few firm, controlled strokes is all you need. Then you can move over to a grinder to get that edge really clean and refined. And for the final touch, a little bit of sanding or brushing. That's what gives it that perfectly smooth professional feel. It just erases every last little imperfection. And that really gets at a core truth of this kind of work, The quality of the finish isn't just some afterthought, it's a statement. It's your signature. It tells anyone who looks at it that you did the job the right way, with care and with attention to every single detail. So, we've walked through the whole process, but there's one thing we haven't talked about that isn't really a step at all, because it's part of every single step, and that's safety. It is not the last thing you think about, it is the foundation for absolutely everything you do. And listen, this stuff is completely non-negotiable. You need safety glasses, period. They're going to shield your eyes from flying fragments. You need gloves, especially for those razor-sharp burrs we talked about. And yeah, in a lot of workshops, a helmet is that final layer of protection you just cannot skip. So after all of that, the measuring, the cutting, the finishing, what's the one single thing that you have to remember above all else? It really comes down to one word. It's the one thing that lets you come back tomorrow and do it all over again. Protection.